If you caught my last episode, know that I'm doing a painting of Santa just for fun. Sure, make an offer, $200 or best offer. Doing a painting of Santa on aluminum. But I want to take a little detour right here and show you a trick. Some of you really need to see this. Those of you who are emerging portrait painters, I want to show you a trick that I use using my phone camera. I have started doing this at weddings recently, at receptions, when I have to do a live portrait of the bride and groom there on the spot. And they're usually very small, small ones are even harder than large ones. I'm going to show you this trick, okay? So I'm going to hopefully you can see my camera really well. Here we go, we're working on it. We're going to get it here in a minute. Okay, excuse me. We're going to figure it out. Okay, you with me? The first thing we're going to do, whoa, and I don't know why my phone does this. Camera, it's getting a little irritating. First of all, we're going to find an app, and it's called the Artist's Grid Tool. Let's see how close I can get where you guys can still see what it looks like. Okay, you with me? It's this one right here, Artist's Grid Tool. Touch that. Okay, and the next thing that's going to happen is I hit Menu. You know what? I'm doing the wrong one. Let me finish though with Artist's Grid Tool. This is a good trick. This is not the app I wanted to show you, but I'll do an image. Image is download. Here we go. This one right here, and then adjust the number of grids and just the thickness. I don't want it that many of them, so we'll do something like this. Let's save that. I'm doing a really quick version. Yes. And then hopefully when I go back to my gallery, it should be there. It should be there under pictures, I believe. Yep, here we go. And then here it is. Here's the image. I'm going to edit this. I'm going to crop it a bunch. You with me? So I'm actually going to show you two tools here. This is a very good one to show you. I'm going to crop this way down. Okay, so some of you want to use a grid. Here's at least a very simple grid. Now you can come back on top of this one and do another different color grid on top of this, which helps a lot. But I'm going to save that. I'm actually not going to use the grid today. I want to show you a completely different app. You still with me? Okay. This time I'm going to pick close enough so you can see what that looks like. Are you with me? Hang on. Come on. Okay, it's this one right here. It's called Photo Collage. Hit that, open that up, okay? And it's warming up now. No, I don't want to see that ad. Okay, and I'm going to do this, two pictures next to each other. Hit that. Then here, I'm going to put the image that I have downloaded from the internet, which is this one right here. I'm hoping I and next to it, I'm going to put my painting as it exists right now in its current state. Now let's see if we can get these to be the same relative size to each other. Okay, here's what I want you to see, and I'm sorry for all my I'm leaning over kind of hard here, so I'm messing up. But here's what I want you to see, and here's what I want to look at. I am seeing a small image of the original photograph and my painting side by side. So far, so good. Now I'm going to save that. Watch this. Save it. Okay, now I'm going to go back. Yep, going to go back to my gallery where that image should be saved again under pictures, under photo collage. Now watch this. I'm going to open this, and I'm going to edit it. Here's the real key thing. I hope I've only those of you who are hardcore wannabe students are following this, I know. Here's what I just put together, a collage. I'm going to transform it in two ways. Transform, here it is. Flip horizontal. Whoa. And while I'm at it, I'm going to crop it so I don't have all this annoying black background getting in the way. There we go. And save that. Now, what I have just created here is essentially a mirror image of my painting, right? There's my painting, and I have here on my phone a mirror image. Why a mirror image? Because it's a lot easier to see your mistakes in reverse. Because after working at it like this for a while, you can't really, you get blind to it. Now, if you want to get even a little bit fancy, I'll show you one more thing. Can you handle this? Again, I know it's only you, those of you who are really hardcore. Let's go back to our app called Photo Collage. Exit out of that. Come on, Photo Collage. Get rid of the ad. This time I'm going to do a collage with two horizontal pictures, one underneath the other. There we go. Here's the first image. It's going to be the flat, and the second image is going to be straight, the original photograph. Come on. There we go. Now, can you imagine, I hope you're figuring this out, can you imagine, and I'm going to save this now, and go back to my gallery and find that image. Oh, here it is right here. Sorry, I just had it and then closed it. Let's edit this one more time, just to get rid of the annoying black outline stuff. Save, save. I'm hoping you're getting this. So why is this a good trick for those of you who want to do better at portraiture? Because this is the way I painted it originally, and I'm already getting blind to my mistakes because I've been staring at this only 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and I'm blind to my little errors in ratio. But when I look at it this way, I go, oh man, I've got his nose too far here, too far to the right. That means here it's too far to the left. Do you see what I mean? So I'm going to put this image right here next to my painting up here. And I look at the top row first to find mistakes because I can see them more easily there. But then I have to translate it into the bottom image, which is faced the right way. So I now know that I need to move his nose a little bit to the right. So I'm doing that with a rag, of course, because this is oil paint on aluminum. It all wipes off very easily. Okay, I might pause right there and just let you guys, also this eye needs to move a little bit this way. So I'm looking at the top image mostly to find my mistakes, and then if I need help, saying, okay, now how do I flop it around? I hope that's all making sense to you. Hope I just didn't confuse the heck out of all of you. Here's another mistake I see, that I've got his forehead coming in too far, so I'm going to move it out a little bit. Okay? So there you go. It's essentially the same as looking at a mirror, but a little bit better because I can look at both the mirror image and the non-mirror image at the same time. So I hope you feel like that's a good little trick for you. Same thing here, his mouth. Basically, I had all of his features tilted toward us a little bit too much, and I'm having to move them all a little bit to the right. So let me go ahead and darken in his mouth just a little bit more. Now, how many times can that thing that I just did? It would take about 5 minutes of my time to take a picture of the painting, and I've already uploaded the reference file, so that's already in my phone. It takes about 5 minutes to create that little collage. And I can do it as many times, we can do it as many times as we want to in the course of one portrait. So just because I've done it once doesn't mean I'm done. Normally what happens, and I'll tell you, I'll be real honest and tell you sort of where I'm at with my portrait career. And again, I think you know I'm not primarily a portrait painter, but I love doing portraits, partly because I love the challenge. There's nothing more exacting and more fussy than portraiture, right? So I like the challenge. But here's about where I'm at. When I sit down to do a portrait without any measuring, no grid, no, what do you call it, measuring device, you know that thing. That'll do, proportioner. None of that, you know, without using any sort of artificial means of rendering the face. Here's how good I am and how good I ain't. I'm about 50-50. About half the time when I do that, I nail a likeness, and I feel like I'm pretty darn close to the. No, I don't mean nail a likeness. I mean a perfect likeness. I can nail a likeness every time. That is to say, if I sit down and do a picture of Charles, everybody would know it was supposed to be Ray Charles, but about half the time, everybody would know it was Ray Charles, and they'd scrunch up their face a little bit and say, yeah, but there's something not quite right. Okay, and so that's about where I'm at. I think I'm about 50% of the time, and that's way better than some and way worse than others. So I always enjoy coming back and doing more portraiture so that I can get my percentage better than that. I would like to be hitting 85. Now, of course, I'd like to hit 100%, but you know what I've discovered? Don't tell anybody I told you this, because I'm sort of telling tales out of school, but even the big dogs, you name, Nelson Shanks, Daniel Green, Bert Kinstler, blah, 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 and a whole army of Chinese people of Chinese extraction that are just fabulous portrait painters. You know what? Even they don't nail it every time. I've seen them, some in person and some just online. I've seen them make mistakes. Now, would to God I was as good as them. Don't get me wrong. I am full of envy for their level of accomplishment. But there is some comfort in knowing that even they are not quite fully formed gods yet. They mess up too, and I've seen them do it. So anyway, that's just a little bit of encouragement for those the rest of us who are obviously mere mortals who are trying to sharpen our skills. In portraiture. Okay, I'm going to pause right there and come back to this. I'll be working on this much of the afternoon. I'm not in a particular hurry. I'm not going to try to do this like I did last year. I did this at a live event, so I had to be done by the time the festival was over. I don't feel any such compulsion this year. I can take as long as I want to get the job done. And I'm going to stop right there. Thanks so much for watching.